to this week's episode of Chamber Chat, and a very happy International Gnome Day to everyone. That's right, today is the International Day of Gnomes, and so what a perfect opportunity to talk about our friend Seymour here. Seymour came to live with us in Seneca back in April of 2016. And since then, we've been very busy. We've traveled all over the state attending conferences and meetings and events. We've made a lot of new friends and really talked to people, encouraging them to come visit us here in Seneca. We've celebrated National Donut Day and other silly holidays. We helped to plant the planters on Main Street with beautiful flowers, helping to keep Main Street looking gorgeous. And we've welcomed people to town who were here for meetings or maybe just here to shop and spend a great day in our little town. Having Seymour be our social media ambassador has just been a lot of fun, and hopefully you enjoy seeing him around as much as we love taking him places. The rest of today's Chamber Chat is going to be about the story of how Seymour came to live here in Seneca, so hopefully you find that as fun and exciting as we do too. Have a great day, tune in next week, and happy International Gnome Day, everyone. This is the story of a gruff little gnome who lived in a village that never quite felt like home. He outgrew his village, he couldn't fit in. He felt like an outcast, uncomfortable in his own skin. One day he decided enough was enough. He packed up his things. He knew it'd be tough to find the place that he could truly belong. If I have to, he thought, I will walk to Hong Kong. So he bid his goodbyes to those that he knew. They wished him good luck. They didn't want him to be blue. So the gruff little gnome picked up his pack, optimism and courage, two things he did not lack. And off he did head on his wondrous way, in search of his home, a place he could stay. He wandered both far and wide, you could say, until he stumbled upon a sunny spot one day. A large green sign the gnome looked upon. A town called Seneca is where he had been drawn. The edge of the town was just in his sights. He couldn't help thinking that something felt right. He wandered into town thinking, where should I go? He turned this way and that and thought, I'll go with the flow. Just at that moment, it started to thunder and rain, and he found himself standing on a street they called Main. He scurried out of the storm and yelled, help me, I plea, and just like that, a door opened to the local library. A giraffe named Gerald held open the door. Come in, he shouted, before you get wet, even more. Thank you, the gnome answered as he scurried inside. I'm glad you were near. I could have just died. Gerald just chuckled. Died from some rain? My friend, you exaggerate. It was no hurricane. No matter, he continued. What brings you here? The gnome smiled. He just couldn't contain his cheer. I'm looking for work, a family, a home, someplace that I love to call my very own. Well, Seneca is great, Gerald said in reply. For all the things that you seek, we can surely comply. What kind of work exactly do you seek? The gnome pondered and answered, something new, week to week. I've got it, Gerald shouted, a place you can fit. I'm quite pleased I thought so quickly of it. You can work at the chamber and promote all that we do. It will be perfectly suited for a gnome just like you. Seneca is delighted to have you, so glad that you came. Now all that is left is to give you a name. So the people were gathered, they all seemed enthralled, just to decide exactly what this gnome should be called. Salvi, they shouted, Norman or Jerome, but none of them quite fit for this new little gnome. How about Seymour, someone finally chimed, because he'll see more of Seneca than all of us combined. Seymour, they shouted, how perfect, how right. The whole town agreed, no one put up a fight. The gnome was elated, he grinned ear to ear. Seymour was a great name, one he would hold dear. I love it, Seymour smiled, and he said to the crowd, I promise to do my best and make you all proud. Seymour couldn't believe it, his journey was complete. He couldn't stop grinning as he looked down at his feet. They had brought him so far, wandering this way and that, until they had landed him right where he was at. In a small town he had found what he had for so longed, a family, a home, and the place he belonged.